Alien Addicts was one of the three best UFO correspondents at Third Phase of the Moon. I won't say I'm a correspondent for Third Phase of the Moon, Rem, but I like them guys. They're pretty boys, aren't they? Both of them. I've only got a picture of Blake. He's a delicious man. If I batted that way, I would definitely, I'd go on a date with Blake. But I think Brett is Osvaldo Franco is ringing me. Oz,
I'm trying to contact you through the app. It's not letting me do it.
Okay. Well, we could just put you there. You could speak into the mic.
I guess I can barely hear you though.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's more or less.
You see,
it's not great. It's very.
See, this is going to be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, Osvaldo Franco in the house, and well, I'll tell you what, Oz. Right, all you have to do, that link, click on it, yeah, and then click allow to everything.
Yeah, we'll see.
And your hair looks delicious. See, these guys, they are waiting to see your hair and how it's grown.
Oh, absolutely.
You've not stopped. Okay. I knew you won't let me down. See, I have 33 followers then. My little boy's come down for a bit of food. Midnight snack, I can hear him. Here he is. Osvaldo Franco in the house. There we go.
You can hear me?
You make it sound like it's like it. This. Let me get rid of Blake. Blake. There we go. Osvaldo Franco. I'm gonna have to edit this show.
There we go. Perfect.
You made it. You made it. Yes. You have been growing that hair.
I'm glad you can hear me. I was worried about the audio.
Well, you might have to speak up a little bit. Have you lost your headphones or something?
No, they just stopped. They gave out, and I couldn't get any replacements. When I spoke to you the last time, I was running around trying to see if I can get one. I just can't.
Is that why you were in New York City?
Huh?
Wait, is that why you were walking around? Were you trying to get some headphones?
Yeah, I was trying to get because I was ready for the interview, and then they just crapped out on me.
Oh, okay. Well,
but luckily we're in good shape now, anyway. So whatever.
Well, we are. But is there any chance you can bring your face a bit close to the phone so we can hear you better, or turn the phone on the side?
Yeah. Okay. That's not. How about this? Hello.
I'll tell you what. You just put it back how it was before. We're okay. We're good.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Loud and clear. You just need to speak. You just need to shout, annoy your neighbors a little bit.
All right.
Because that's we can. Can people hear us? Can everybody in the chat just give me some thumbs up or
it's not like
everybody. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He's back again. He's back again. This is great. You just can't make this shit up. It's brilliant.
Whatever. I'm here, man. Just tell me what they say.
They can hear you, yeah. All good. They can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent.
So Oz, there's been massive changes since last time we talked about TTSA.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're not kidding. Like completely and totally.
We've lost the Melon. We've lost Lou, and we've lost Justice. That's his name. That's what I was looking for. We left with four board members.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's the next move for the company?
Well, it looks like they're shaking things up, but I'm not as pessimistic as a lot of people are. It seems that there's some good things going on. Lou Elizondo has made some statements in public concerning a bit of that. And he seems to think that TTSA is on a strong footing, or that the plan is a good plan that they're implementing. Or at least that's what he said. Like,
so you don't think he's got like any sort of bad feeling about the company, and that's why he decided
No, it doesn't seem like that. I mean, like if they were like, if there was an issue like that, I think that this seems to be kind of acrimonious. Like they're also like and they seem to be supporting TTSA as well. At least Elzano is.
Okay, and what's Mellon and Justice said?
Mellon hasn't said a whole lot, and Justice is probably the guy that right now whose life has taken the most interesting turn. Just to give you an idea of just like the caliber of guy he is, when he left TTSA, he got hired as an executive vice president for Virgin Galactic, which is Richard Branson's space company. They made Spaceship One, but basically the chief design engineer for Virgin Galactic is none other than Burt Rutan. So, like, literally, Steve Justice went from working from one rich, famous ufologist to another.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. Nobody frames it like that, but because, like
he's having an affair.
No, like Burt Rutan, the guy, like I said, he created Spaceship One, which is the first civilian spacecraft, or at least low orbit spacecraft. He lives in a pyramid, and inside that he built, and inside the pyramid on the walls are depictions of ancients meeting aliens. And he's very, very much openly and publicly pro ufology.
Sorry, what's his name again?
Burt Rutan.
Burt
Rutan, yeah, he's one of the world's most famous aerospace engineers.
Never heard of him. I have now. I need to look this guy up.
You've probably just forgotten. It might have been like around 2007 last you heard from him.
Okay, so he lives in a pyramid, and this pyramid's. So Steve Justice is working with this Britain.
Yes.
Yep, and he lives in a pyramid.
Yeah.
And it's got pictures of aliens on the wall.
Well, like paintings of them, not like photos, but paintings of them.
What are they like the typical gray bean?
Well, yeah, like aliens. Like they did an article on him in Vice. There's photos of the place. You should probably go look it up.
Definitely, I want to stay the night there. Never mind that.
Yeah, no, man. Like if I get rich, that's what I would do.
Living in a pyramid, that's got like the Illuminati written all over it, hasn't it? For any of the conspiracy theorists.
Well, of course, but dude, like that's not unusual. I mean, if you're into UFOs and you're rich, you do stuff like Jackie Gleason. His house in upstate New York was shaped like a disc. He used to call it the mothership. Yeah, this is a fact. And inside the mothership was the largest civilian UFO library in the world at the time that he had amassed himself.
So why? I mean, I know we've heard the reasons why Mellon, Justice, or the supposed reasons of why they buggered off and left TTSA. But what do you think? Do you think that
at this point, I think it's a management situation. I think that and they've said as much, but everybody's like, not bringing it up because they want, I think, more drama than there is at the moment. Because we're not really hearing a lot, but I don't hear a lot of horrible things either. At least not from anybody involved. I would say that they're trying to restructure things so that they can make more money. They didn't so they can fund other stuff. In fact, Elizondo was also saying that there's several projects that are already on the move that are going forward with TTSA as we speak.
What type of projects?
Again, the media stuff is going forward. Now, if you go and check the
can you elaborate on that? See, media stuff.
Yeah, like there's like a couple of documentaries that are being pushed, or series, something like that.
Okay, so this the entertainment part of TTSA.
Yeah, like they said they were going to do.
Okay, but anything? Have we heard? I mean, have we heard anything about this bad boy?
No, not at all, except that Elizano said that that's still in play. I mean, they're scaling back, but they still have that in place.
Do you like my little Photoshop job?
Oh yeah, no, I love it. I just want to get it built and done.
You see, I heard a rumor that there was going to be something to do with Bigelow, that he may have had an interest.
I haven't heard that one yet. Right now, Bigelow's doing that life after death thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You probably heard of it. I'm not a ghost guy.
I know you're not.
I mean,
I'm going to invite you on with my
like,
ghost investigator friends.
That's fine. I've seen ghosts before. I'm not impressed. I'm just not.
Well, you've actually seen them in.
Oh yeah, no. You, yes, before. My family has people like I'm descended from famous like card readers and tea leaf, the tea drinking, the reading the tea leaves and stuff like that. That runs in my family. So yeah, I've seen some weird stuff in that regard as well. But it's comparing the two, it's not as impressive as UFOs.
Okay, so just to break off from TTSA for a second, so you're the atheist of the family.
Yes, this is the thing. An atheist.
But you've seen ghosts.
Oh, yes, I have. But you see, this is the thing. People conflate things. Like, it's like, all right, because ghosts exist, therefore God exists, therefore, Jesus is real, or is it Muhammad, or is it Buddha, or whomever, like, they would prefer. I don't see it quite that way. I'm like, yes, there are weird non-corporeal beings. They exist. I don't politicize it though. You know what I'm saying? I don't infer that oh my God, because again, like, yes, ghosts exist and psychic powers exist. I've also had my fill of spirituality, and I don't believe in spirituality.
So
you get what I'm saying? Yeah, the people.
We'll get back on track with TTSA, but
they think like, oh, because certain psychic abilities exist, so a spirituality must be the truth. It's like, no.
So is this what draws you to a company like TTSA in the begin with? Because there isn't any mention of that kind of.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, because honestly, I've never seen anything good come of it, and I have seen catastrophes come out of it, quite a few. So just being objective, and then honestly, like, if something was going to work, it would eventually or probably work. Like, like, in spite of everything, like UFOs work because it's coming back and it's getting more and more real. Whereas, people like to me, spirituality is kind of like communism. Like they tried that, they did it to death. If it would, and lots of people tried different versions of it, always had the same troubles. Something is wrong. If it was going to work, it would have worked. And if not, like I'm saying, man, if spirituality would work, it was perfect, or the answer, then we would all be Rosicrucians instead of trying to learn about remote viewing. And honestly, right now, remote viewing is the best way to go when it goes in regards to those things, or those, like, scientific based technologies. Yes, you can observe some of these things with people that are involved in spirituality, like monks and certain types of Buddhists and such. We've all heard the stories, but it's not enough. It's like diluted. Perhaps there was more knowledge before and that was lost, and that knowledge was key. Or perhaps like which I tend to think more so is that, like, they were onto something, but they like anything, they attached a bunch of ideas and feelings to these things. We see it now, like, when People say you have to be, if you want to be a UFO experiencer, you have to be meditate all the time and be a vegan or some other ridiculous nonsense, which simply isn't the case. You know, everybody's trying to paint their beliefs and their feelings on these things. You know, and in
well,
most cases,
that's what Steven says, isn't it?
yeah, but this is the thing. In most, yes, exactly. And in most cases, most people haven't seen, you know, these things that they believe in or they read a lot about, you know, and it's different when you have, you know, and it's like, you know, like it's a lot less mysterious, you know. I mean,
so Oz, with that, because I want to keep trying to keep this TTSA. That's my fault, by the way, for
yes,
kind of
yes, no, 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 no,
asking
no,
you
no.
that. I'm going to come back to that though, maybe
Yeah,
at the
sure,
end.
whatever.
So I'm going to bring this up. It's not any personal information on, but because it is one of my Patreons and he's in the chat. But he has some questions for you because I asked my patrons what they would like to ask you about TTSA. So,
I can't
first
see that.
question.
You're gonna have
You
to.
can't see that. Well, I'll try and read it in dyslexic way. Tom DeLong listed as the interim CEO. Do we know why he is interim and whether there will be a new CEO?
No, nothing. Again, like honestly, they don't send us stuff like, you know, like that. Like we, or at least we haven't received anything. Um, you know, I think TTSA should and could do a better job of keeping us informed. That's one thing that I would like to see done. You know,
So
just
you
as a
don't get
courtesy.
any. Did they make you aware when Melon, Justice, and Lou was leaving?
No, that's the other thing too. They let us know after the fact, which I don't like. Honestly, that's a bad look. I don't like that. I think that they should, you know, they should address this. I think I would like to hear from Tom, actually. You know, make an official statement about this and exactly where the future of the company is going, and with specific details. You know, and also in regard to, like, you know, our commitment to technological development, which is my, you know, big, you know, interest. I really like, you know, movies I have no interest in like that.
So we've already answered question 3 when I asked you about what Lou and Steve and Justice are going into now.
Mhm.
What is Lou going into though? Because we didn't kind of.
Lou is being vague about something that's going on. I've spoken to people that have spoken to him recently. Um, it looks like he's onto something like pretty interesting, which is not a surprise at all. Um, and we're going to hear something soon. I think sooner than later in regards to that. I don't have a huge amount of information about that. I just know that there is something in the works, and it's going to be a thing. And I think Justice is involved. Not just, pardon me, not just Melon.
Oh, so do you think that Melon and Lou are kind of going off and
Well,
doing their thing together?
well, according to Lou, they and TTSA are going to be working in tandem. So, like, I mean, that's what he said. So,
Oh, so these guys, so Lou and the Melon, they're kind of like, yes, they've come out of TTSA, but they're very much still going to be working with TTSA.
yeah, well, that's basically what they said, that they will be working with them and on joint ventures, basically, and working together on stuff. There's a plan, so we'll see what that plan is.
So
You know,
I mentioned earlier, and this is question 2, but we were talking about the board. There's now 4 members of that board. So you've got the CEO, an operating officer, a scientist, and a financial officer. What are the operations proposed or underway that will bring commercial success to the company? So what do you know of anybody who's coming in or?
well, I know that there's something that involves a group of Native Americans.
Okay.
that there's a tribe of Native Americans that apparently claims to have a lot of UFO contact throughout their history, and for some reason, this claim is of interest to TTSA. And in fact, Lou was talking about this like
So,
recently before he
so,
left. I mean, after he left TTSA.
so a tribe of Native Americans. There's an interest there.
Yes, for some reason. I don't know what. I just know like that is a tribe of Native Americans.
Do we know what tribe?
Yeah, there's information. There's about it.
Whereabouts in America is this tribe from?
No, it's the European Native Americans. Yes, America.
Oh, okay. So, and do we know? Do you have any inkling of what the interest might be?
No, probably something to do with Kachinas. I would imagine.
Kachinas.
Yeah, it's a Native American for aliens.
Oh, never heard that. Never heard that before. Kachinas.
What some of the tribes call them. Yeah.
I might change the channel name. Kachina Addict. So, as an investor, and a good, we've known each other now for how long would you say? 2 years, maybe longer. Longer, yeah. No, long. Wait. We spoke in the comment section a lot before that.
Yes.
But we knew of each other before they released the Tic Tac.
Yes.
Again, I've told people this before. You said that the Tic Tac was going to be released, and it did get released. The footage. Knowing what you know now as an investor, would you still have invested?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, given what we like, I think a lot of people, and maybe they haven't been doing this a long time, or they've just gotten into this, or maybe in the last few years. They don't understand where things were before TTSA and where they stand now. Night and day opposites. TTSA has done so much more than anyone else. I mean, honestly, man, like ufology has been going on since 1947, at least like organized official ufology, a public ufology. And we've made more progress in the last 3 years than the other 74 or 75. Like it's crazy, dude. Like I mean, like that's insanity, but that's exactly what happened. And it's solely because of TTSA. It's not because of Stephen Greer. It's not because James Fox's documentaries, though they're great. It's not
very good documentary, the last one.
Fantastic, yeah. Jeremy Corbell, God bless him. It's not. This was all done by Tom DeLonge and his people. This was a coordinated effort. This was magnificently done. I don't see how people, if you care about ufology, you should be supporting TTSA more, not less, after all that they've done for us. And then there's this disingenuousness too. Like, it's like, now that Lou Lozano is not in TTSA, now everybody loves him. You're saying the same shit.
But this is the thing for me now. Yeah, I like Tom. I know a lot of people give Tom shit. I think I think he's a cool guy. I liked him before I even knew about TTSA. I thought, me and my boys, we used to get, shit faced back in the day. We used to, before we were going out, we used to listen to Blink 182. It weren't exactly my cup of tea. I prefer Angels and Airwaves. But I thought this guy he's pretty fun. He's a cool guy. He's a bit of an idiot. I was a bit of an idiot like that back in the day, and I see. With me and Tom are probably about the same age, but I was very wild like he was back in the day. That there are no tattoos on my body because my mum said she would disown me. But do you think? Well, one thing, he had a lot of money that he personally put into that company. to get it off the ground. But then at the same time, he was approached by these guys, and he's got these big names behind him, like Lou, Mellon, Justice. Do you think they made
and others?
Yeah, but Hal's still there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think these guys like kind of make the backbone of TTSA?
Oh yeah, no, that was a huge part of like, why I invested in the excitement generated behind this, because this wasn't like, it wasn't like this pie in the sky thing, and it did work. It did work. We did a lot politically. We did a whole lot politically. In fact, the hearing that's coming, that's TTSA also. So we don't know how big this is going to be. And I would put it to you this way: if Tom DeLonge has these films and things like that that are based on this, not like actual real knowledge from like real sources, and he does, if there is a if things go well for the congressional hearing, pardon me, the congressional hearing, I'm sorry, man, I'm very tired right now.
Don't worry about it, mate. You and me both.
All right, once, yeah, in another couple of months, when we get this report, the congressional report, like, depending on how that goes, that could be huge. Like that could be an enormous thing to actually own and to be a part of, and with that, like, if they made a significant amount of money off of that, then there's your funding for like other projects and things like that. If you check out the website, the vault is still there. They're still talking about doing AI stuff. They're still doing stuff about material science, which is very, very important. That is the most important thing, I think, is perhaps the material science research.
Are you talking about the metamaterials?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I don't know if you remember the video that I did quite a bit back, but what's in the box? What we've been talking about what they actually had, and then we actually did start to see some of the materials there. But it kind of, we saw a bit of it. They never, for me, really touched on it enough or explored it enough.
Yeah,
revealed their findings. That was a little bit. That was always a little bit disappointing. The Adam Project for me.
Yeah, I wanted to see more. I still want to see more. I'd like to know what's going on. They also spoke about doing physical demonstrations, of some of these weird, like, like interactions, like apparently this floating metal of some sort. But like, I don't know.
See, if they had floating metal, if you wanted investors, show the fucking floating metal first.
Yeah, no, that's again.
You show me floating metal, yeah, and I'll remortgage my house and invest.
Yeah.
You show me floating metal.
Hmm.
You would. It's one thing saying something, but it's another thing doing something, and this is what is so frustrating in this subject: is that there's so many people that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And I had a lot of faith in TTSA to walk the walk.
Well, dude, they have. What are you talking about? They've transformed this field. Right now,
I'm not listen, Oz, I'm not taking that away from them at all. I do believe, despite what a lot of people think, that TTSA have done some amazing work, and they've got everybody talking, and I think if it worked for TTSA, you wouldn't have seen half of this. For the Joe Blogs at home that is just for the very first time coming into this field, watching things on Joe Rogan and what have you. I don't think any of that would have happened if it were for TTSA. I really don't. So I would never take that away from them because I think the work there that they have done is like you say, we've not seen anything like this in. I'll tell
Period.
you the last time the last time that I was quite hopeful of this is when I was a youngster, and that was before 9/11 when Greer was
Here,
about to
yeah,
blow the lid
exactly.
off of
No,
it.
no, no, same, yeah, same here. That was a very heady time, and then like that just literally crumbled with the towers.
But
But at the same time, I don't think it's like that. They're very well connected. They have, I think, more than a few tricks up their sleeve. Um, I would not, and again, Tom DeLonge has remarkable connections. I would not be surprised that this doesn't work out. I mean, it does work out rather. It might be
well, you're hoping it works out.
oh yeah, of course.
Do you
100.
speak with any of the other investors?
Not, yeah, sort of. Like, yeah, I have a few friends that are investors as well, but like everybody is like, nobody knows what's really going on, like to that extent. We just know what, like, we've been told.
I mean, without talking about figures here, but some of these investors, some of them must be a little bit nervous.
Not really. I think listen, if you gave money to TTSA, you gave money because you were an ufologist. Even if TTSA is above the fray in the general sense of the UFO community as a whole, like that's who propped up TTSA, like honestly. Or perhaps maybe Tom DeLonge super fans. But most of,
Yeah, well, we were speaking about this in I think it was about a year ago when we were talking about the Sirius project, and you'd invested in you'd
oh
helped
yeah,
Steve.
that was
You're in the credits
true.
for that, but you kind of like was like you watched it and you were like, I can't believe I
No,
invested in that.
yeah, no, because this is the thing. This was that people forget. People think that uh, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind is Stephen Greer's big return, and it wasn't. Sirius was Stephen Greer's big return, and basically it was like uh, the guy who created the Disclosure Project is trying to come out with something huge, and he's got it. So what do you do? Do you help him or not? So I
It was
helped him.
something small.
Yeah, and then it turns out it was just like like again, like that. I'm very critical of Stephen Greer, with good reason. Um, uh, you know,
I need to have a Greer queue. There we go.
you know, um, there's certain like there's things that he does that irk me, but that's just like he's a human being, so that is what it is. Um,
So, I mean, for somebody like Stephen Greer, because he's always kind of, I'm not going to say bad mouth, but he took a massive pop at TTSA in that
oh yeah,
in Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
oh
That
yeah,
there was a little segment that was like,
oh yeah. Did you hear what Lou Elizono's response was for that?
no,
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. He said, like, and he didn't mention any names, but he's like, well, there's certain individuals out there that like to pretend they have special relationships with the aliens and take people out while they while somebody throws flares out of a plane and tries to convince them that it's a UFO.
yeah, that's quite funny though.
Yeah, no, that's like, dude, yeah, man, like dude, a lot of that stuff looks like flares. And honestly, dude, Lou Elizono tells you that's a military flare. It's a military flare. Like, oh my God, he would know.
Has Steve said anything about this kind of split? Has he mentioned anything? Do you know? I've not seen anything. Because
Who?
Mr. Greer, Dr. Greer. I would have thought he would be kind of like he'd have put something out there and said, "I told you so."
No, he's tried to, but it's like I don't know, like I like that. I don't know. I'm kind of over, that whole like Greer scene. At least it doesn't work for me. I think like if it becomes popular, people will see like flaws in it faster than they do now.
So the next move, I know I mentioned that earlier. The next move for TTSA, I kind of get a feeling that the company is going to stick to the kind of entertainment side of this. I don't know. I honestly, me personally, I don't know if you're different on this. I don't know if we're going to see much more.
Well, that's the thing.
Much more of this type of thing.
If that's the case,
from them.
If that's the case, that would be very disappointing. I hope that's not the case. I don't think it's so. At this point, I think that would be like a huge waste of help. Like really, like
yeah, he is still there. What happens if he buggers off though?
Well, then they would actually no. There's still a few other scientists, but I think they're like biologists for some reason. And one is a neurologist, and I think another one is a biologist.
I imagine you'd, because we've not spoke since this happened, but I honestly imagine you'd be quite flawed with this. I mean, your initial reaction when this happened, how?
Oh no, it was upsetting at first, but again, and this is like TTSA needed to handle this better. They absolutely had to handle this better. They should have had a statement ready, as this hit. You know what I'm saying? As this occurred, the fact that this happened the way it did was really sloppy, and that they should be taken to task for that. That's not, I'm saying that's not that doesn't work very well.
So to you investors, nothing has come out, not even afterwards. Absolutely nothing, no information.
No, nothing that hasn't already that hasn't already come out, and then they didn't even give us an early, which I do not like, is the fact they didn't give us early heads up. I had to find out what everybody else did.
I see. I mean, this for me.
I sent inquiries. They didn't, and
they're not responded.
It wasn't. It was a very it was a form letter. It wasn't anything very interesting, and it was just before the statement was released by TTSA, which I would have liked to have received a copy.
It just seems to me a little bit.
I mean, I saw it on the website.
If I'd have invested, even if I'd have only invested $200, I'd still be like a little bit, I would have wanted. I would want at least a newsletter of what's going on.
Exactly. I mean, they have TTSA talks. Tom should do an episode about the future of the company.
So you've been an investor since I can remember.
Day one.
But yeah. How often are they in communication with you guys?
We sometimes get an alert, and maybe once a year we'll get a form to vote for the board. And that's basically about it. And updates over things that they new T-shirts or skateboard stuff.
But there's there's nothing when it comes to drastic changes that are going on with the company.
No, they haven't said much of anything other than that one statement that they just released.
Yeah, see that for me, if I was an investor, that would ring alarm bells. It really would.
That I don't like, and that I would like to. They say they watch everything. Let's see if they watch this. I think that we are owed more of an explanation and a direct explanation from Tom DeLong. Though I still maintain, I still think it's a little bit early. We'll see what they have to say. We'll see what they're doing. They've done remarkable things before. I will give them the benefit of the doubt, for the time being.
I think that's what he needs to do. I think he needs to put a video out.
Yes.
Just kind of explaining a little. It's probably in the works, but
it should have been made before. Honestly,
if I've got all these investors that invested in me, You know, I owe it to those investors to put something out.
Also, the fact is, in all these rumors that have come up about afterwards, it's like this is bad spin control or no spin control, really. You know, that this was allowed to just like flop out like it did. Like I don't like I think they need some help with being like with public liaisons, perhaps.
It seems to me that they went extremely hard, and it all got a little bit too exciting, and for some people, a few YouTube channels especially, they got extremely excited, and they really started to big up TTSA. Now, again, I am not taking anything away from what they've done, because they've definitely done some really good things for this field. I think it's got everybody talking about the subject. I think if it wasn't for them, get some strange feedback from your phonos, but you can't help that, so don't do anything. But I just want to make the guys that are watching, it's not my new microphone. They It just seems that they promised to deliver something that was almost impossible.
Listen, we're about to have that it's not over yet. The things that TTSA has been trying, they're not done.
I'm not saying they're done. I'm by no means am I saying they're done, because for all I know, Tom DeLonge is going to put that video out tomorrow, and he's going to make a massive announcement that he's got, all these new scientists working for him. Maybe he's got Bob Lazar working for him. That would be interesting.
Actually, that would seem like a publicity stunt. Almost.
Yeah. So, in terms of, have you guys had any inkling or any rumors of anybody that's going to go, that's potentially going to work for the company?
No, nothing.
No rumors.
No, not so far. So far, none.
It makes me wonder as well, because we were rumored to get more footage that was going to be better than the gimbal footage. Are we going to get that now? Who's going to deliver that? Who has hold of that footage? Because apparently we were talking about this in the last interview, that they have actual full-blown amazing quality versions of some sort of craft or something that they was going to deliver.
Well, we saw those videos that were posted by DeLonge a few months ago on Instagram and on Twitter. You
talked about the ones that got taken down.
Yes. So that could those be those? Perhaps. But the ones that I
talked about the little ball thing.
Yes, the 3 balls.
Yeah, but I mean, that was almost like a Joe Rogan moment when he was trying to explain that TR3B, and he put that
fake. That as a demonstration for the types of footage that is going to be like filtered through the AI machine.
Yeah, but why put something out like so? So why put your balls out there on Instagram and then take them down if you don't want somebody to see them?
It's a publicity. He does that. Like if you notice that DeLonge puts stuff up and he takes it down routinely. Like he just posted an alleged photo of an extraterrestrial that was taken by Chris Bledsoe.
What would DeLonge have to do? What would the company have to do for you to completely lose faith?
All right, if we stop making technology like completely and that's it, then I would be very, very upset. Unless we made a huge amount of money, and then in which case then I can start my own company and develop the technology.
So if it ends up developing into like a sci-fi Netflix.
Oh no, okay, no, there's all that stuff too. Like, all right, my fear for the entertainment aspect of this is that we know because of the WikiLeaks leaks that Tom DeLonge was in contact with Steven Spielberg. And
okay.
Yeah, and not only that, one of the people that was in there sticking his
why whenever we talk about aliens is Steven Spielberg involved?
He made the best UFO movie ever. You know,
Right.
yeah. But in fact, every other UFO movie is corny compared to Close Encounters.
I was talking about ET.
Oh, right. No. I was thinking Close Encounters.
No,
But,
I'm joking.
No.
Go on. Sorry. What were you
yeah,
saying? What were you saying?
my fear is that we get out of technology, which would be just terrible. But my other fear is that one of the people that was involved in these conversations was apparently J.J. Abrams, who is basically science fiction poison. The man is complete trash and garbage and is a danger to every franchise he's destroyed. You know, he destroyed Star Wars. He destroyed Star Trek. Like I like the man is like terrible and awful. And even when he left, like he hasn't been involved with Star Trek and Star Wars for years, but the damage that he did has led to rot, and those franchises haven't recovered.
I mean, it's the new Star Trek.
Dude, healthy science fiction franchises sell merchandise hand over fist. Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Discovery, Disney, Star Wars, none of those things can sell anything. Nobody buys that merch.
I get the feeling that you feel that that's where TTSA is going to go. It's going to go down that route.
I don't know, but they have the connections to do this. And again, there's a plan, and this has been going on for years. Like I said, this comes from the WikiLeaks hack, where we found out that Tom DeLonge was working with Neil McClaughlin and these other people, in the days just before the formation of TTSA. Actually, that would be interesting if Neil McClaughlin came to work for TTSA. That would be an interesting chain of events. But yeah, if that's the thing, like I would like us to make, if we're going to do this, then let's make good films. Let's not make bad films that everybody watches. It's a difference.
So I made a prediction probably. Well, I don't know if you remembered. I predicted that Bob Lazar would go on Joe Rogan, and it happened. And then I made a prediction that I said that Lou will go on Joe Rogan. Do you think now that this has kind of happened, because I know Joe and Tom DeLonge didn't exactly see eye to eye, do you think
he has to? He has to have Lou on. And I hope they bring up the fact that, like, honestly, dude, I'm sorry, Joe, but like Tom DeLonge's timing was off. Like Tom DeLonge spoke to Joe Rogan about UFOs being real, like just a few months before he, figured it out. Hold on.
So I get the feeling that Joe's a big lad, and they like to have a little drink on that show. I think that Tom might have just had one too many, and he maybe was a little bit high as well, and he just went off on one. I mean, look what happened.
No, honestly, no, because I'll tell you, because Joe Rogan.
Okay then. So why show that fake footage?
I don't know. I don't know why he would show it at all. But
you agree it's fake? You agree that was fake?
Yeah, that doesn't look like real. Like that looks like old CGI actually. At this point,
because that was kind of for me, that was what I was like. Why did he do that? I was thinking, is he just what? And I kind of defended it. I'm like, was Tom just trying to tell? Because he was trying to tell him how it works, how the TR3B works, how the technology works. Was he basically saying that this is CGI, but this, however, is exactly how it works? or was he depicting that as real? Because I've watched it back a few times now, and it does look like he's depicting it as real. And then you see Joe just kind of like,
yeah, no, yeah, no, I don't.
And after that event, you never heard much of Tom DeLonge speaking in interviews, or I know he's been in a few, but he's kind of stayed out of that.
Yeah, he has. I haven't heard him say anything. Like in like over a year, well over a year. Like other than like a few tweets about like Donald Trump.
Is he for or against Donald Trump?
He's against Donald Trump.
Is he?
But
I don't get involved in politics. It's not my field.
Yeah, no, I don't like Democrats or Republicans.
So this was I knew this would be kind of like a hard subject to talk about, but you investors are as clueless as we are, basically.
Yeah, they've not given us any information about much like I know some things because I pieced some stuff together, but that's about it.
Tom, if you happen to stumble, you probably won't, but if you do stumble across this video, one, get in touch. I'll have you on. We'll have a beer. But two, get in touch with your investors. They're putting food on your table. They're giving your company its wings. You guys need. I think you need an actual proper state. You need a video. You need him to actually speak out and say, a video that is for you guys, exactly. For the plans of the company. Because it just doesn't cut it for me.
Yeah, I totally agree with. I'm not happy with at all. I would implore Tom DeLonge to make a statement, something like, because I honestly, dude, like as usual with ufology, when people don't know stuff, they make things up. So things are going in all sorts of directions. That might affect investment, later going forward. Perhaps a little damage control would be apropos.
Definitely. That's what he needs to do. You need to treat. I mean, you people. You guys and girls, whoever the investors are, you're the people that's you're the engine of the ship. You're running that thing.
Supposedly, well, that doesn't feel.
You're the fuel for TTSA.
Yeah,
you keep that thing afloat.
Hold on a second. 1 second. 1 second. Hello. Sorry, I had another situation.
Oh, don't worry, mate. So in terms of since this has happened, I don't want to get too personal in terms of investments and what have you, but has it dropped?
No, it's not. We're like, it has to be on the market first before it drops. That's we're doing
okay.
A+ level shares and stuff like that. That's a whole other thing. We're not even at that point yet.
I imagine if it was at that point, this would be a drop.
It could be. Who knows? Like again, we'll see. Again, we're still like waiting for a finished product, one way or the other. So we'll have to see what product we get, before we can make that decision. One way or the other. I mean, honestly, what if this is a good decision and everybody makes a whole lot of money.
Well, you know something, Oz. I mean, if I was Tom DeLonge and I knew I had people like you backing me, that would make me, would spur me on to just prove the naysayers wrong.
I mean, I hope so. I'd like to know more. I mean, like, like, dude, like like I, like I send in the money I make, like working in COVID, in New York City when we were purple sector, like we were the eye of the storm. I ran around, I helped some folks, which was, I'm glad to do. Then I took that money and I put it towards to do some, more good. That's how I saw it. I would like to know more about what's like, going on with that. Cause again, like, some of us do feel a bit apprehensive about that because like honestly, like movies are okay. I mean, that's great. Oh, you got some TV shows, that's fine. But like I'm primarily interested in science and technology and like improving the condition, not just, talking about stuff.
So at the moment, as things stand, will you keep adding to the pot, or are you gonna wait and hang fire?
I'm gonna see what's going on. I will wait to see what's up,
Good.
but I got more money for him if it's got something for me to
No,
you know.
keep hold of your money for now, mate. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm
wait.
not. Yeah, it's in the bank. Let's see what comes of this.
So, in terms of TTSA, we don't know much. So, what do you know? What is exciting at the moment in the world of ufology, and that maybe TTSA or Lou or any of the other Mellon and Justice, whoever's going to grab hold of next?
Well, honestly, the next big thing, barring something else, is once again the congressional report that's coming out. Like then, like well, hopefully we'll have a lot more to discuss, and we'll see a lot more. Like depending on how that goes, I think that a lot of things can happen depending on what comes out.
How
In
long's left
fact,
before that comes out now?
so a couple of more months.
Yeah, it's not long,
Um,
is it?
no, not very long. In fact, Lou Elizondo, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, was on Twitter. Was talking about asking people, "What do you hope?" Like, and he said there's a serious question. Like, what do you hope comes out in the report? And people
They're not
answer.
hostile.
Well, yeah, that's true. Actually, no, dude, I want photos, I want video, I want wreckage, bodies if you're willing to, if you want to go that far, that would be great. But
Well, they've spoke about having actual wreckage. They've
yes,
got
no, they have that's the thing. Like they've already discussed it. They said that they have it. There's photos of there's a photo of it, some of it, uh, from Canada, actually from the 1960s, Saskatchewan. That was that they got a hold of and they shipped to the United States. A big chunk too, actually.
see the problem with and this is I used to get extremely excited when I'd see any old picture or
No, 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 no.
uh,
This one is
um,
from the Canadian government. This was declassified by the Canadian government.
yeah,
It actually came with seals
but
as
the
well.
thing is, it doesn't excite me anymore. So I want to see more. I want to see somebody stand up with and a full chuffing at least 1080p video. I'll take 720. You know, and show us this stuff with the video camera, pick it up, bend it, show, actually give us a kind of up close and personal from somebody's and explain to us, like I'm a child, what this thing is. I'm sick of seeing just little pictures. I'm sick of people just talking the talk about meta materials and this, that, and the other. And where is it being made in a factory somewhere overseas? Is this technology ours? Is it theirs? Who's got this? Is it alien? I want to see. I want to see the meat and bones. It's not going to happen, is it, Oz?
I wouldn't say never. I say honestly, man, we're on drip and just drip drip. The bucket keeps filling, drip drip. Um, we're gonna hit critical at some point. This wasn't a mistake, and I don't think that this is like the end of the road by any means. Um, there are good rumors that there's going to be an international response to some of these things that are going to be coming out soon. And in fact, Alazano also speaks about a lot of involvement with foreign governments and like getting organized in terms of like UFO research. So so there's something to that, and we'll see where that goes. Um, and there's also, like I said, James Fox is working on something as well. That's supposed to be major, and I think Elizondo was involved.
Just another documentary.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be like Elizondo said he was making a documentary, but I think it's going to be with James Fox.
Maybe he's going to show us what he had in that box.
Yeah, perhaps. Did you see James Fox on Paul? What's his name? Paul Logan.
Paul Logan.
Yes, the YouTube guy.
Oh, Logan Paul, Logan is Paul.
It? I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't watch that show.
No, I didn't. I don't want. I saw Greer on there. It looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah, no. Greer was like, it was kind of awkward and weird. The Fox came up great on it, actually.
Okay.
And actually, he came off as more authoritative. Oddly enough.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, Greer was definitely like he was like he was like, what's the words I'm looking for? He was like a penguin in a lion's den. You know, it was just out of place.
Well, dude, he's used to he's used to lecturing from in halls, from on high.
It almost seemed like there was a little bit which he they were the banter that they were having. It was almost like they was taking the piss a little bit. They were taking, they were making fun.
Yeah, no, they were.
And Greer didn't quite get it.
They said that when they saw Greer, they were fascinated, but they were like kind of like, meh, I don't know if that's a real picture of an alien. Like, I don't know, Greer had, like I said before, man, Greer had a lot of great stuff before, and it's all been downhill, since 2001. The Atacata humanoid.
I mean, there has been some rumors that there was a cover up with that. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, I don't think so, because there's been
it was odd. It was odd though. How we've spoke about this before. It was odd. It was odd. Wait, hear me out here. It was odd that Gary Nolan was working with Greer, and then he took that evidence to TTSA, and then they kind of put. It was almost like a chuffing the battle of the ufologists. It was like a rap battle. It was like Machine Gun Kelly versus Eminem. It was that. Well, not Machine Gun Kelly, but it was that kind of like, fuck you.
Yeah,
it's not an alien, and then we're going to tell you it's not an alien.
No, because listen, Stephen Greer acts like he's ufology. He does.
Oh, and yeah, but Oz, back to the little thing, the little Anaconda.
Yes.
So I've said this before, and I did put a video out, and I kind of stuck up for Greer a little bit because he was making a report, and he was nearly shaking because Gary had literally fucked off. Pardon my French, but he had gone to work kind of with TTSA on this thing.
No, he did.
Well, yeah, he did.
Well, not on that thing. He worked on something else, and then he left TTSA to work with Jacques Vallée, which is who he's with now.
But then Greer started saying, "Well, this guy, this is a
Yeah, no, okay, well, listen, let's talk about, like I said, things about Stephen Greer that are starting to come out. There was that comment that Lou made about, pretending to have a special relationship with aliens. By have somebody throw like military flares out of a plane to
Sorry,
try to pretend.
so Oscar, I don't like talking about somebody when they're not in the same room. There we go. Carry on.
All right, but there's video footage. I believe I sent it to you. The Hal Puthoff is giving a lecture, and somebody asks him about some of the claims that Greer made about Hal Puthoff. That the reason why he couldn't release this information is that somebody would kill him. Like in terms of like free energy devices. Yeah. And Hal Puthoff said no, that didn't happen. So there's a lot of stories like that. They're slowly percolating. I think
he broke down on Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. When he was talking about friends that have died.
Yes,
that it was quite convincing, though. I actually felt for the guy. He generally that he had a wobble on his.
Yeah, no, I've seen that he does that like.
You don't believe the guy,
huh?
Don't believe.
No, I do believe that. Like, yes, he lost friends and stuff like that. I just like it's like I don't know. I've heard the story so many times, constantly. It's kind of like like after a while you stop tearing up. Like I know people that survived the Holocaust and lost their whole families and shit, and they and that was decades ago. And they still suffer, but they're not like weeping on television.
Yeah, but he's talking about people who he's lost under his hand. People that have worked with him that are related to the field of ufology. That's what he was implying. That's when he started to cry.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that to me it comes off like it's being played for dramatic effect. I don't like that.
So you don't think it's suspicious or anything like that? That the research that he was doing on that little thing.
Oh no. There's
and it went to TTSA.
Ufology. We've been riddled with mysterious deaths. A lot of weird, mysterious deaths, even high-profile ones. I remember Edgar Mitchell made a statement, a very cryptic statement, when he started coming out and doing more talking about UFOs, like in the public, which is what he was really basically famous for.
Yeah, I had Ray. Did you see? I had Ray Hernandez on. We were talking. He was talking. They were good friends, and he was talking about Edgar, and we spoke a little bit before as well offline, and some weird stuff.
Yeah, no, he said that he was asked by a journalist, "Aren't you afraid to talk about this subject? Because people have died." And he's like people get killed over this, and he was like, "Oh no, they stopped doing that." Was his statement. And that could be entirely possible. Like you don't want to make too many more martyrs, for your cause. That can be very problematic.
Well, I'm glad you said that. So I'm safe then.
Oh yeah, no. Man, they'll pull you over with empty bottles of liquor in your car, and then they'll arrest you for public indecency, something like that. They're not going to kill you.
Let's hope not. We've been going for, and I know you're a busy man. We've been going for an hour and a half. Well, we've been going an hour because you were 20 minutes late trying to connect to this thing. You need to get yourself a little laptop, mate.
Oh yeah, no, I do, but it hasn't arrived yet. So next time.
In the field that you could, I've told you, Oz, get yourself a channel. I'll help you. Get your channel built.
That's happening. It's happening.
You can give us all the info. the updates.
That's the plan. You'll see as soon as I can. I'm in the middle of a few things. I've been handling stuff with my mother and such. I believe you know a little bit about that. So I've been kind of busy. But yeah, there's something on the works very, very shortly in regards to that.
Awesome,
Like,
mate. Well, as soon as you're ready to go with that.
Hold on. Actually, you know what? In fact, I'm working on something that's kind of special.
Okay.
That's going to be a surprise, and it's going to be a very interesting surprise. Perhaps a big surprise. Some research.
You're not getting a sex change, are you, mate?
No, not at all. No, man. I'm happy being a dude.
So what's the surprise?
No, it's a thing. Like I'll speak to you about it offline.
Okay, is it? So it is a surprise. It's an actual surprise.
Oh yeah, no. This is it's gonna sound crazy when I tell it to you, but it's true, and I can prove it. And this is gonna be very, very interesting.
Is this anything to do with the thing that we were talking about?
No. This is actually something else. This is something very, very old that's going to be new. Actually, yeah,
okay.
something that's been under people's noses for about 100 years, and nobody's really caught on to it somehow. And I'm gonna go ahead and inform people.
Related to UFOs.
Oh yeah, and I don't mean just a story. I mean you're gonna see something.
Are you going to see something worldwide?
No, nothing that big, nothing that big. But let's just say something very, very interesting that is in close proximity to
Is
me.
it something to do with something to do with technology?
Could be.
Okay.
Something interesting, something of great interest and importance.
I'm not getting it again, man.
Especially if you're into UFOs.
Okay, cool.
But you won't be disappointed. This will be a very interesting thing. I was actually shocked, and was like, "Oh, please, yeah, whatever." And then no, it turns out it's 100% true, and it involves like a lot of like. There's a long history behind this thing, and yeah, this is going to be a very interesting story, and it's
So
going to
this
be.
goes back to 19.
Oh, dude, this goes back about 100 years.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
1921?
in and around. Yeah, man, you'll be surprised how. I say, man, you do your research, spend your life doing
People are
research.
gonna be looking out now.
Yeah, you'll see what happens. Like there's a thing going on. It's going to be very interesting.
So I know you probably can't talk about it too much, but we were going to do an exclusive a while back, and I probably can speak. I don't know if I can speak. Can I speak about the thing that
Oh,
you were
this
trying to
isn't
get
that.
home? No, but
This
can we
isn't that.
speak? Can we speak about that? Because that was weird.
No, not right now. Not just yet. Again, let's see where things are going. Like I said, like let's see how we feel about things in 6 months. Let's see what comes out from this congressional report, and then perhaps maybe we can make a move in regards to that.
But are you any more? I'm not going to speak in riddles when I've got an audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, speak to me
Yeah.
offline about that.
Yeah.
If you don't want to speak about it, it's fair enough. So before you go, Oz, when are we expecting this YouTube channel from you, or is it going to be a YouTube channel?
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
what are you going to call it? Is it just going to be the Osvaldo Franco show?
No. I'm weighing my options right now. I have a list of a few different names, and I'm gonna see what I like.
Drop them to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I will definitely keep you abreast of that. You'll know. You'll know before it hits. So like very easily.
I'll get you a logo as well. Well, Oz, before you get off, is there anything else you want to kind of address? Because we've been going for an hour and a half, and I know that you're a busy man. You've got to get back out into the city and do your thing.
Yeah. Oh no, not really. I'm kind of tired. Like a bit under the weather, but I had to come on.
No worries. So as soon as you hear anything about TTSA, what the next step is, you'll let me know. Yeah.
Oh,
If you get that, if you get anything as an investor, and they let you know what's actually going on, I want to know.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Like you'll find out, dude. I tell you when I find the other stuff. So
Okay. Brilliant, mate. Well, folks, thank you so much for people being patient in the chat, waiting for Oz and his phone, but he's getting his laptop sorted soon. Is it a laptop or a desktop? Laptop. Good man. Good man. You can go out and about and get your source out. But yes, people, I am Alien Addict. Get yourself subscribe to the channel. Hit the like. Hit the thumbs up. Same thing. Share the channel out. It's going to be a little bit of a wild journey with this channel because it's completely changing from what it used to be. Basically, to cut a long story short, what I want to do is I want to speak to you, the people that have had the experiences, you that have got the experience. Yeah, you've had the experience and you've got the experience, and I want to know what that experience is. I want you to tell your story. So email me. That is my email, Alien Addict UK, because somebody stole alienaddict@gmail.com. Whoever's got alienaddict@gmail.com, I will buy it off you for £10 or £15 a stretch. Get in touch with me. But yeah, alienaddict UK@gmail.com. Send me a story if you've got information on what's going on. It doesn't have to be about UFOs. In fact, it's probably better off that it's not about UFOs these days because YouTube does not like that subject. But if you've got an experience and maybe somebody's taken you from your bedroom onto something that seemed not of this world, good night. God bless, folks. Mind the bugs don't bite. Thank you, Oz, for coming on, mate. You're a gentleman and a scallop.
always, thank you, brother.